Aries, welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. There's not a whole lot happening this week astrologically. We're still kind of cleaning up some of the tension from last week, from the full moon in Sagittarius. It did bring some things to light, definitely highlighting places where things are changing. Even if they haven't changed in this present moment, they're in progress to change, and kind of figuring out what we're going to do as a result of that, right? Like, we've been getting a lot of hints along the way. Some of the stuff has been really frustrating, really challenging. We still do have some tense transits that are happening this week, but it's not as intense as last week. So we get a little bit of a reprieve, but it doesn't mean that everything's magically gone away, unfortunately. We're in the waning phase of the moon, and this is about that period of time that we do release, that we do let go. We're also wrapping up Gemini season. We're about to move into Cancer. Summer solstice is on the horizon. So there's a lot going on, and I really do love Cancer energy because it reminds us to nurture and support ourselves, which is something we definitely need as we're navigating through this change. It's also why I like to start my readings off with these energy cleansings, just set the tone, set the vibe, cleanse out any blocks, obstacles, limitations we might be coming into. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you have come in with something on your heart or mind that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just interested in more of a realignment of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're functioning out of that state of being grounded and strong in ourselves, knowing who we are, what we want, we're going to make choices that better honor what we're trying to manifest, what we're trying to call in, i.e. that happiness and fulfillment that we all deserve. And I would love to help support you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me, Aries, is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly, and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Aries. You feel a little overwhelmed this week. You could even be experiencing just like maybe some headaches or some pressure. It feels like you have a lot on your plate, or you're putting a lot on your plate is what I'm hearing. I feel like you're really trying to sense into something. You're trying to, figure something out. There's something that like you're not quite seeing. I feel like it's a hard decision because I feel like, I don't know, like there's hesitancy almost in having complete clarity, because I feel like you have this one perspective around how you want things to be. Maybe something is challenging that. The white oak does really call us to be grounded and stable, meaning like, steadfast. That's what I mean, right? Like this value of fire energy can be a little bit, moving, kind of like every women fancy, right, is interesting to you. You're trying to kind of like figure out the next right thing to do. And a huge message we've been getting in the collective lately is like this need to kind of Be patient. Shakti is a shrine, essentially. So we also got this energy in the overarching energy where there's this value of making sure that you're honoring self. Like maybe you do have a tendency to be the strong one in your life, i.e. taking on a lot of burden, responsibility that isn't all necessarily yours. And I think this is something that like maybe you're okay doing, or maybe but I also see that you're trying to find a little bit more balance this week, right? Like actual taking care of yourself. And I think that's a huge thing we all need to have. Aries is like a strong, solid foundation. When we have a strong, solid foundation, then we can kind of do a lot of different things. Maximum efficiency, minimum effort, right? But Ayurveda definitely has this perspective on finding balance between activity and rest. When we find that balance, that's where we get that maximum efficiency. And that's kind of what it looks like. I see you trying to learn this week. I see you trying to discover. You might not be trying to get a lot of feedback from someone, something, because I'm seeing you doing this by yourself, whatever this is. But it also is a way to like honor yourself, if that makes sense. The Shakti is also about our ancestors, about our lineage, you know, the sacrament that we pay to where we've come from, etc. And I almost am seeing this as part of your process, like whatever process this is that you're moving through. Because you don't want things to go downhill, you're trying to keep it up and running. There's something that someone has pushback around, and I almost feel like this is a giant obstacle, right? Like someone's having a really hard time with something and you're just not vibing with it. You're not on the same page. It feels like you want two different things. And I feel like because of it, it's really hard to kind of see eye to eye because no one's willing to budge is how it looks. I feel like someone promised you something and then now it's just not really happening, you know, like they made campaign promises. They said that they could, I feel like maybe there was an agreement and it's looking different because someone can't handle their end of things. And it's putting you into a position that it feels uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't necessarily see you getting that thrown off by it this week because you are in this mode of like honoring whatever your commitments are. I do think you're going to understand this a little bit more, whether you have a conversation with this person or not. I don't know, man. The devil comes up for us. It's like, this is someone, I don't know, I keep hearing like it's their problem, it's their issue. And you keep being responsible for this. Maybe that's where the headaches are coming from. Maybe it's just like you're trying to do everything that you can possibly do and then they throw another thing on you. Or like, yeah, it just feels like there's an unfair balance. It feels like you're taking on the brunt. It feels like you are happy to do so on some level, but it's also very stressful as well. Maybe you even feel like this person's situation is testing you. Honestly, it looks like their behavior is a little shady. I'm not going to lie with this devil because especially when people, and this is a theme right now, especially with people who are not getting what they want, they're kind of resorting to some shady behavior or trying to manipulate, trying to control. And it looks like they're trying to control you so they can get the outcome of what you want. But honestly, I am seeing you challenging them a little bit. Maybe you don't completely understand their perspective or why they are so against something, someone, etc. It's not you specifically because it looks to me like you're busting your butt to keep things okay and up and running and just balanced, right? You have 10 of Cups, but you also have 10 of Wands. This person might be like fishing is what I'm hearing, like fishing for answers. And to the like it's provoking you, right? That's what I mean by fishing for answers. It's like I feel like they're trying to find every little nook and cranny of disconnect so they can point the finger or blame you or say, well, this is why I want to do what I want to do. They're putting a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on you. And you know this, but I feel like you don't even want to go down this road because it is kind of dualistic. To the best of your ability, you're trying to work with them to the best of your ability. But you're also in this mode where it's like, well, if I'm going to be taking on the brunt of X, Y, and Z, then I'm going to be making sure that like I'm doing it in a way that is successful for myself. And it is something that you need. 11:11 on the clock. This is where we have to, like, again, self-love, self-care, giving us that foundation so we can be achieving all of our goals, right? And fire energy is amazing at like making things happen, manifesting, pushing the needle forward, etc. And that looks like what you're doing. That's how it looks topically. But this person doesn't like it. 2 of Wands energy. They respect you, but they don't, right? At the same time. And as much as maybe what you're saying or what you're doing makes sense, they're almost kind of like, they don't really care because it's not their opinion. Unfortunately, it's not their opinion. I think that there needs to be, this to me feels like a lot of like pettiness. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's not necessarily coming from you. Maybe you're getting roped into it, but something is being really petty. And it does look like this vibe, especially because like they're showing up as the devil, but they're trying to hide that. They're trying to be like, oh no, it's cool, it's fine. And then meanwhile, in the back of their head, they're like pissed off and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. There's a little bit of a bubble being burst here because here's the thing, maybe like you haven't seen this in this person's situation beforehand. So it's kind of bursting your bubble a little bit on who and what you thought they were. But it is this reminder that we are in the waves of change. And here's the thing, I'm not saying that you need to go into this situation to this person and say like, you need to listen to me and blah, blah, blah. It's not that. That's not going to actually work. You're going to get more pushback from that. But you do need to use your discernment. This is knowing who and what you're dealing with, how they react, how they respond, and then changing your approach accordingly. Right now, it's not the time to bulldoze ahead. We're seeing this in the astrology. Mars is tensely aspected to Uranus. And basically it means that we have to deal with what's in front of us. We have to work out the problems, the issues, the situations, so we can open up to change, so we can open up to the newness. And that's hard right now because not everything is linear, right? Some things we do have to approach with a creative manner, creative perspective, and not everyone's gonna like it, right? Like not everyone's gonna be happy with the way you do approach things, especially this person's situation who's kind of functioning out of a little low vibey energy. But you know this, like this feels like this is the beast you know how to deal with it. It's just not barreling ahead with your own agenda, making sure you are being empathetic and understanding to whatever their position is, but at the same time, like finding those creative solutions for change. So thank you so much for your time, energy, always, Aries. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages here that resonated for you. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.